people have been asking us why we haven't been on YouTube lately. Honest answer is, we've been busy doing things like this.
It just had an start.
An action man.
We've got a big old sprayer trying to get down.
Okay.
Always someone.
It's not happening, dear. Anyway.
In this large garage and this little shed is a great collection of classic cars and bikes featuring some rare and unusual vehicles you just don't see every day. They are all coming out of storage today and they are all for sale.
Right, let's have a look around some of these vehicles because there's quite a few to get through. We're going to go with what Claire and I have already decided is our favourite, Bond Minicar G. 1964, is it?
Yeah, 1964.
Absolute stunning looking little thing. This would be so much fun.
The Bond Minicar was the brainchild of Laurie Bond, an engineer from Preston, and were manufactured between 1949 and 1966. Laurie's vision? A simple, lightweight and economic vehicle, and economic it certainly was. Having just the 3 wheels, there was a lower rate of tax and insurance compared to 4-wheeled vehicles. They could also be driven on a motorcycle licence. I love this Bond Minicar ad from the 50s, although I think the word safe may be doing a fair bit of heavy lifting here. Can you open the bonnet actually?
Well, that's a question in itself, Claire. Oh, I can. Let me just, I don't want to force that. Can you get in there? Oh, that's why it's got those arms on it.
Look at that. Now, I believe these have a column shift on them and that they're incredibly noisy. In fact, one of the first, or if not the first video I saw of Steph's on iDriver Classic was her test driving one of these.
Was she petrified?
No, she was great and she was so brave, honestly, but it was so noisy. It was super noisy inside. But yeah, I've put the details in the description below to Steph's video because it is really great. It's a great fun video.
She's a brave girl, that Steph.
She is a brave girl.
But come and have a look inside here. We have had a quick look at this before, but not in detail. So I'm having a nice look now because instantly I was drawn to this lovely exhaust system and the fact that it's obviously been really well cared for and loved because it is nice under there. Plenty of room. So do you kickstart these?
I don't know.
I think you do.
What's different about this one, the Mk G, is that they've tried as much as possible to make it as car-like as possible.
Okay.
So they've given some more creature comforts inside. This one has these quarter lights.
I would love to drive something like that just because, especially where we live, it would just be ridiculous down the country.
It would be ridiculous.
Now, this hasn't been off the road too long, I don't think, because there is a rally badge card on the front from 2024.
Ah, there we go.
So I should think that the buyer of this vehicle, and we haven't even mentioned that yet.
No.
The buyer of this vehicle could just basically go through it, just double check everything, fire her up and start driving this car pretty much straight away. It's going to be sold in April at Anglia Car Auction, so you're ready for the whole of 2025 basically.
Yeah.
What a lovely car. The interior, but yeah, it looks just lovely. It's been at some time it's been restored. It's brilliant car.
We probably should explain how we came to know about this collection of cars and bikes.
Wow. Is there a whole collection here? You haven't told anyone yet. No, part of what we do, we help people with the sales from estates. We were contacted to ask whether we could help get these to market. Working with the vendor, that's what we've decided is the best thing. So everything you're going to see today is going to be at Anglia Car Auctions in their April 2025 sale. So if you know anyone who likes any of this stuff, let them know, please, because it is a great collection. And as you'll see as we go around, which we're going to do, we don't want to keep waffling, the gentleman had some fun vehicles, cars and bikes, not hugely expensive, and they could go on and have another great life with new owners. So we're looking forward to helping them along that journey.
Indeed. Right, talking of bikes, here we have a bike that's in bits a little bit here, a project bike, but it is a BMW
K100?
K100, also known as
Go on.
the Flying Brick.
Really? I'm not sure that's a selling point, my dear.
I think that's great.
I'm just trying to find a way through. Now this...
It's an 80s bike, isn't it?
Right.
It looks very 80s.
And it's is this a sidecar adapted, isn't it?
It is sidecar adapted, which you've learnt recently that they're configured differently to normal motorcycles, aren't they?
Yeah, and I'm going to sound like a real coward today because I already said I'm scared to drive something like this, although I would because it's fun. Sidecars petrify me this day and age. But
so you've never ridden one?
Never been in one.
I have. I've been a sidecar passenger and it was the most amount of fun you could possibly have. It's fantastic.
That would scare the absolute life
But
out
it's
of me.
a different technique when you're driving them. In fact, let me pass the camera over to you a minute.
Right, what am I doing?
Just film me for a second. So when we ride our motorcycles, we obviously lean into the corners, don't we?
Yeah.
When you've got a sidecar on, effectively a bit like a car, you have to turn round.
Oh,
And turn around like this. But, and this is the big thing, if you go round a corner at too high a speed, which is very easily done, the sidecar will actually lift.
right.
It's something to do with centrifugal force, and of course weight has an impact as well, because if there's nobody in the sidecar, then it's more liable to lift.
Right.
So it's not impossible, it's just a case of practice and reprogramming your brain if you're used to obviously riding motorcycles the normal way. But I think they're a lovely way to get perhaps friends or partners or whatever who aren't that into doing motorcycling or don't really want to be a motorcyclist themselves, but perhaps want to be involved in the scene or just get the whole wind through the hair, bugs in your teeth experience that you and I love.
It's not happening, dear. Anyway, going back to this particular one, this is a project. I don't know, because as you're going to see as we go around, there are various sidecars. Whether one of these actually went with that one, I'd assume one of them may have done. I don't know. But that's just a project. So I'm not an auctioneer, I'm not a valuer, but I would have thought that's probably the least valuable bike that we're about to see. So we've started low.
We started, but let's go high. Triumph 3.5 horsepower. I believe they were called Model A's. And they actually did a racing version of these, a TT racer,
right,
which could do a staggering 70 miles per hour at the Isle of Man. Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, I can, I can.
That's a really lovely example of a very early motorcycle. And as you can see here, the tanks always get me. You know, they're like a long rectangle. You're not like a saddle tank that we're sort of used to these days.
Beautiful.
But they're great. I think these did about, the standard ones did about 50 miles an hour, which to be fair would be, well, for me, pretty hair raising, I think, riding on one of those.
From my perspective, it's got like a bit of a steampunk look about it, hasn't
Definitely.
it?
It looks beautiful.
Fascinated by the engineering.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that.
And the craftsmanship, you look at all the details. I mean, if you just look here, for example.
Do we have any idea what sort of person would have originally bought a bike like that?
No.
Maybe people in the comments will let us know.
I tell you what, though, the next model that came along was the Model H, and that was used massively by the Allied forces in World War One.
Oh, right.
And
awesome.
they were known as trusty Triumphs because of their reliability, and I think that's why they were so appealing to the military.
I think this is the star of the collection then, isn't it?
I agree. Yeah. Definitely the star of the collection. So you'll recognise this bike.
Yeah, the old Velocette LE.
Didn't your grandfather used to have one?
I believe so. There was a photo on a Facebook group I found of him in his police uniform next to one. But yeah, these were everywhere, weren't they?
And they were called noddy bikes.
Yeah, and I read that was because if you went past a senior police officer and you couldn't salute, obviously, on a bike, that you were supposed to nod to them.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, or some kind of urban legend, people will have to let me know. But it sounds right, doesn't it? And I like it. I like it as a reason for calling it a noddy bike. Now, these are sort of a bread and butter classic bike, aren't they?
And this fairing, I love it.
But a great, you know, these are the sort of ones. There's quite a few people into these.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you can get parts for them fairly easily.
Yeah.
Not hugely expensive, but a good, solid, complete bike like that should do quite well at auction. Let me just come around the front and have a quick look. I've noticed the tax disc says it's 2015. Whether it was on the road after that, I don't know. But no, I like them. I like the look of those.
Yeah. Now we have a Jawa.
Do we?
We do. We have a Jawa moped. Remember?
That's right. Sorry, it looks so different.
I know. So the Jawa mopeds, I'll flash up a picture of our one. You used to get from catalogues like Great Universal and stuff like that, didn't you? But these are Czechoslovakian made. They've got quite a niche following, you know, these Jawas. And this is a 350. Proper retro. I love the look of it. And apparently a very good bike for beginners. And
this is a combo again with the sidecar. This one's actually comes with the sidecar, doesn't it?
Yes, yes it does.
So I'll try and get some of that in there.
Yeah, I think this was 1991.
Right. I love the indicator on the sidecar there. It's like, looks like an afterthought, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look a bit like that. But interestingly, an Indian company is selling Jawas today.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
So you can get, and I think they are selling like a new version of the Jawa 350. So, yeah, interesting. I love the look of it.
And we'll try and find out how long that's been off the road as well.
Yes, we'll flash up details like this now.
This is cool.
This is quite the combination. So it's a Model 6 Sunbeam. And do
you know what era that is?
1930.
Right, okay, so that's 95 years old.
Yeah, and I think, is it this one that's done the Banbury Run?
Very possibly, yes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the Banbury Run is operated by the Vintage Motorcycle Club. I think actually it's Vintage and Classic Motorcycle Club. And they start off and return to the British Motor Museum in Gaydon. Right. And I think to qualify it, the machine has to have been manufactured before the 31st of December 1930.
Right.
So this one just does it.
But what a cool looking thing.
And what a great motoring event to take part in if you wanted to do that sort of thing.
I'm just going to look around the other side, Claire, because this one, again, being a combination with a sidecar.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, the sidecar itself is lovely, isn't it?
The shape, it's like a bomb.
Yeah, it's like
torpedo.
A bomb. Yeah.
But no, that's an awesome looking combination, that one. I really like that.
Yeah, they look lovely.
I'd own one of those and just look at it, to be honest, which is why I won't buy it, because that needs to be ridden, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. And they're super popular, these Model 6s. In fact, I think it was the longest in production model.
Wow.
So, very popular.
Right, what else have we got in here then?
Right, so we have a Wolseley. So this magnificent looking car is a 1938 Wolseley Series 3.
It's taller than you, my love. I know you're not a giant,
it's
but
a bit of a beast, isn't it, really? Yeah. Let's come in and have a look.
I've got a nice pair of blondes in the garage there. Wow.
Now this
I'm going to struggle to get all of this.
To get it all in. What I love most about this, wait for it, suicide doors.
See, now we can't see anything.
No. You'll have to come past.
I'm going to poke my nose in.
But look at these incredible running boards.
Wow.
Massive, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll move here so you can get a peep inside. But as you would expect, full of leather. Smells like an old library. It's perfect. But obviously needs a bit of restoration. But just look at the beautiful dials there.
They just don't make cars like this anymore, do they? I believe this was a different colour originally and it's been changed. I'm assuming it was a wedding car.
Yeah, that would
I'd
make
have thought,
sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, with this colour. But it looks good in this colour. It's, you know, so I think it's changed on the logbook. It's not a problem. But
when they pull this out, we'll have a look to try and see exactly what engine is in this.
Okay, well, I could lift that up now and we'll have a quick sneak before
then.
then. Okay, you know what these transport people are like? They'll just run off with it.
Oh, that's true.
So there you are.
Oh, there's a plate there.
Oh, that
Oh,
oil
look.
can in itself.
That's so cool, isn't it? So it is, because I was wondering what version it was. 16.6.
Wow. Is it 16.6 or 1660?
Just says 16.6, so yeah, it could be 1660. We'll have to check, won't we? But look at that.
Complete with cobwebs. You'd love to get in there.
Oh, doesn't it look great there? I love it.
They do look good. This is being sold with no reserve.
Is it?
Yeah, so I don't know what these are worth. I mean, it'd be interesting if you're watching this before the April sale at Aiglon Car Auctions. Just put your guesses below and no editing them later.
Yeah.
We'll know. And just
Don't
see if you
cheat.
can guess what this will go for, because that's the best way to find the market value of a car,
Definitely.
so that no reserve. The Wolseley register, 1895 to 1975. What does the tax list say over there, Claire?
2014.
So we'll assume at this stage, until we've looked further into it, but it's been off the road 10, 11 years then. That's going to be interesting seeing them get that out.
Yes.
And the last car in here.
Yeah, so lovely. Obviously, you know I love Austins. It's an A40 Somerset. And the way I always recognise the Somersets is because of this detail at the front here. Little grills. Love these. Very nice.
They're solid, a bit like our A30.
Yeah.
You can feel that's proper metal. That's
But
not...
bigger, obviously.
Yeah. But
so more suitable. I think some people refer to them as the poor man's saloon car, family car. Which I think is a bit harsh, but...
I'm just going to have a quick look inside.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. You and I, let's add a little bit of personal information. We're having a chat on the way up here, weren't we, about how a certain delivery company, was supposed to deliver me something on Monday, but they couldn't quite make it. It's Friday today. That's one of those, dear.
Oh, well, that's what you were waiting for.
Yeah, it's not my one though, that one.
Oh, okay.
That'll come out, but yeah, have a quick look inside. Again, a project.
Very much a project, this one.
I'd say, very, very much. It looks solid. No gaping great holes anywhere, except maybe on that rear wing here.
Yes.
Which Claire will pan around to. She's having a lovely... You love interiors, don't you?
I do. I think these are 4-speed, I think. And I think they had synchromesh on everything except first.
Right. So I can't blame you. You can't blame the car for your crunchy gear changes.
No, I can't.
Actually, it's me who does that more than her.
I was going to say, I tend to be a bit more delicate.
You do. I get told off, even in our comments.
No mechanical sympathy.
No. Again, 2014 on the tax disc. So I'm going to assume it's been off the road 10 or 11 years.
Yeah, let's have a quick look in the engine bay.
So we have got more to show you. There's a little shed just down the hill. So come with us now. We've got the transport guys waiting outside. They want to get cracking moving these. We're going to film that as well. So please continue watching. We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. It really helps on platforms like YouTube. And we enjoy it personally. So please comment below and follow us outside.
So regular viewers of the channel will know that I have a bit of a penchant for mopeds and bikes. And in this shed are a few little treasures I want to share with you. Behold. I have to start with this one first. This is a Velocette Viceroy, and I absolutely adore these. They were produced from 1960 to 1964, which is quite a short production run, and believe it or not, only 700 were made. And they never really took off, and I can't understand why, because I think they're a great looking bike. They're interesting. This is a 250cc, and the engine is actually front mounted. So you can imagine having quite a low centre of gravity and some quite brisk acceleration. This would be a huge amount of fun to fling into corners. Absolutely love it. Beautiful colour too. Now here is something I recognise because my grandfather owned one of these. It's a Trojan mini motor, and it looks like a rally all steel bicycle. So these are great little units that people used to install to obviously provide cheap, economic and easy transport. They would fit it, and apparently it would only take half an hour to fit. You can see the petrol tank there over the engine, and the engine would drive the rear wheel with a friction roller. And there's also a Y-pack flywheel magneto. They could do about 20 miles an hour, which is probably more than enough on a bike like that. But what huge fun that could be. Right, moving across here, we have a Fanny B, or a Francis Barnett. This is quite an old one. This is I believe they're called Powerbikes, about 98cc. Don't know a great deal about these other than you pedal backwards to activate the rear brake. The lights are powered by dynamo. They're just a beautiful, lovely looking thing. Look at this horn here on the front. Excellent, what fun. And behind that, we have a French Aiglon Bima. I love these French cycle motors. We have quite a few mobilettes. They look very similar actually. 49cc. And the patina on this is absolutely lovely. Aiglon was actually a brand under the Peugeot mark. Right then, time to see how the transport guys are getting on.
It was at this point that I cleverly decided to temporarily switch my microphone off. So I'll explain what's happening over some cheesy music. The Wolseley is a heavy vehicle. It needs to go on a trailer, not one of the trucks. However, as you can see, the driveway here was extremely steep with tight access. As anyone who's ever been involved with garage find extractions will tell you, there is no set rule book. You have to kind of make it up as you go along. Stage one was to winch the Wolseley out and get her onto a recovery truck. Once she was safely on there, it's just a short hop a few yards up the driveway to the flat ground. And finally, transfer the old girl across to the trailer. Well, the guys are just seeing now whether they can fit a bike and a car on at the same time. This could be interesting, and if it all goes wrong, we'll get more hits, won't we? More views. So here we go with the Austin A40. Well, that definitely rolls well. It's nice to get a proper look at these cars now. They always look so different out in the daylight. Starting their next adventures. Whoa, whoa, whoa! You're quite on this one, Neil. Is that right? Oh, I do. There we are. Very narrow, these old cars. So she's on. The plan is to take her to the next door's driveway, turn the A40 around and get her gone up the road. The bike is strapped on at the moment behind it. Well strapped and cushioned. That's not going to go anywhere. Off to Anglia Car Auctions now. So apparently this will just fit in this van.
Next.
And she's in.
The rest of the bikes without sidecars are being transported to the auction house via van.
The plan now is to see if the motorcycle there, is that the Jawa? Yeah, see if they can get that and the Bond on in one load. They're both tricky just to get on, full stop, and be on the maximum length of the vehicle as well. But it makes sense because neither of them are going to be that heavy, and it will save the trip back. Quite tight for space on the truck bed as well. So now it's going to be overweight. So it's only a 3.5 ton truck.
That suits David actually, on road, isn't
It's like an action there.
This is so close. Yeah, I hope, that's my friend sitting on there, I hope it all goes well, but I'm sure you're watching this thinking, oh, if he falls off it's going to be great. Find out. Boring. And she's on.
Safe as houses.
So I've just noticed that Neil's got a tailor-made with a scaffold board, cut to length, bolt through that end. He's obviously done this before. Could probably get something made professionally to do that, but no, this is going to be stronger. That will take a bloke's weight and a hod of bricks, so it's going to be fine for this. This is going to be a tight fit. We've now got the Bond Mk G, both Claire and I's favourite car here. Just think it'd be a lot of fun.
We've got a big old sprayer trying to get done.
Okay.
The tractor has stopped play. Nearly finished. Managed to survive all day helping lorries through, but apparently some big crop duster has now pulled up and needs to get down the lane.
Always someone. Where I'm supposed to go. Right, if that goes.
So the tractor is now gone, the big crop duster is now gone. We're back to getting the Bond on. Just checking it's sort of straight. The next test is to see how tight we're going to be at the back. And she's on. So there you have it. All the cars and bikes are now safely at Anglia Car Auctions, ready for their big weekend when they go under the hammer on the 5th and 6th of April. You'll find me here at the snack bar. Do say hello if you're coming along, and please like and subscribe to the channel because it really does help us. See you in the next video.